we're actually applying this. We are having successes, and yeah, just don't rush into anything. There is a rush, but if you rush into it, you can do more harm than good. If I make a mistake on these videos, or I read something out wrong, or this scribble that I have here, this autographed babble, this is why we don't accept liability. This is why it's a study group, a digital university, a brotherhood, a coming together, a consciousness raising of the evolutionary consciousness is being raised. The Ubuntu movement, Jack Fresco, Carl Lentz, Bill Hicks, Santos Bonacci. There's some fantastic. Oh, I'm tingling with the power. It's amazing. There's some fantastic stuff going off. It's being affirmed. We're having synchronicities. Warren the other day, 11:11, boom shankar. That was a spine tingling moment. We're having a party in this demonic, satanic world of statism. But that'll do for now. That's a massive amount of information. There again, that's the project of this week. The total summary of what's happened, who I've spoke to, when I've spoke to, how the interactions are going, what we've got structured pipeline in the process, where we're at, what we're looking at doing. I've given you a little bit, enough to go on. I'm not giving it you all, and we will come back and confirm. Anybody that chooses to act on any of this topical, legal, lawful subject, or act so on their own, you can come to us and you can ask, and you can, you're a member of the group, you're in the brotherhood, you're in the family of man, and you are under the divine creator. Know this, know yourself. Look what I am actually propping my phone upon. Yes, you need things like this: constitutional law, administrative law, and human rights. My love, where are we going? That's something to do with Buddhism and the natural law, the courage to be present, Buddhism, psychotherapy, and the awakening of natural wisdom, everyday law, very old but just used for references, the dictionary of law, and then we've got the pocket Latin, English Latin dictionary. That's just a few. 250 PDFs. I don't know how many videos, documents, articles, online discussions. I've done 25,000 posts that have been liked in the last 18 months, so it just gives you an idea as to the volume of the information. We're going back 6,000 years. We know the world's thousands and hundreds of thousands old. We are concentrating on an area of 6,000 years, and we're bringing it from, we've gone full lineage of where we interpret and can source and prove and document what's happened and when and by whom and what family and what rule and what kingdom, and slavery and financial debt is where we're at. So if you understand and you comprehend, excellent. Get on it, start looking, give me a nudge, give us the admins a nudge in paralegals, and put video comments on. They're not necessarily going to get replied to because YouTube's just literally an area to put videos on. The comments that come, I will catch up with in 3 to 4 to 5 months. Get yourself into the paralegals, go onto our web domain, go onto the Twitter feed, and you've also got a phone number on there to give me a ring in emergencies. I want to add to that phone number because, again, I want some people to come on to sponsor, to endorse, to be benefactors. If this is something that you think is a good, worthy cause, and you have this running already, and I've got £200 raised so far in the donation fund, and that's a project of 6 months. That's going to be open, publicly controlled. That's going to hopefully get bigger, and once we've done this allodial title claiming and ecclesiastical things, and we've become private, and we've moved into the private, and we've got control of our legal status, then if there are any funds to be drawn upon the executor estate and things like that, the people that do this are going to set up a pot, and we'll put a pot of money, funds, negotiable instruments, whatever you want to call it, to be used for the people, that the men and Anglo inhabitants of England to use. When we say Anglo inhabitants, you could be a foreign national, you could be like me, have different lineage, blood, but be born in England and be an English passport holder, which means your person is recognised to be an English citizen, person, employee, dead entity. We are flesh and blood. So don't feel offended that you have not got full Anglo-English lineage like John Smith or something, because when John Smith looks at his blood and lineage and goes back and sees what his DNA reveals, nobody in England is 100% Anglo, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant wasp or something it is, because we've been invaded. The country, the landmass, Britannia, England, United Kingdom has had many foreign invasion battles, and it's not something that you should all be thinking that you are English and British. EDL, they need educating somewhat, because they'll find out, you know. So yes, that's it. If you're going to go on any protests and marches, I've heard of a protest that's coming up called the Day of Rage, or the March of Rage, or the March of Anger. Now think about that. A protest, march, whatever it is, anger and rage. And you go to that and you may get caught up in some kind of fracas, violent scuffle, interaction with the state enforcement policy officers, rubber bullets, stun guns, batons, water cannons, and you might go there and find yourself violently interacting with the controlling elite. And I don't think it'd be beneficial. I don't want to see my friends or it on the anything on the news where people go to a march. If you're calling something the March of Rage or Anger, and you are thinking of going to that, then it should be called something peaceful. If I ever do a march or some kind of movement on the street with regards to lawful objections, it will have the word peace and love in it somewhere. It will be free movement. It will not be angry. It will not be armed, and it will not be ending up into any kind of violent confrontation. So beware before you go. Be aware, and be aware that there are also psyops set up where you may get a peaceful movement doing a march, and then they send in little agents and they start creating within that solitary group, and then that gets disturbed from within. It's like a virus infecting a cell. So be aware, if you have got any plans and you are contemplating voicing your opinion, then make sure you do it safely, in numbers, correctly and lawfully. Yes, record everything, document everything, and record your interactions, get numbers, and make sure that you use peace and love. There is to be no violence. There is to be no order out of the chaos. You know, we can march with Palestinian, Iraqi, Israeli, English, Welsh, Irish, French, Muslim. It doesn't matter. This is what they want you to think. Oh, well, you know, we are blood and flesh, and we're on either a ball or on a flat thing, and we're all living on it together, and we've got instructions from a higher creator. If you want to give and contract your inherent inalienable rights away from that higher consciousness, as you've been told and led out by whichever scriptures and deities and things you praise to and believe, then that's your choice, and you can do that. But then you need to know what you are dealing with, what entity, what capacity, what the repercussions are. And it's a spiritual thing. So if you believe that these guys behind have got more power than what you have, and you want to submit and obey and rescind and everything to them, your inalienable rights, and go do it. If you think these people are part of the problem, and that this is the issue at hand and where it comes from, they were put there to manage our affairs on our behalf and work for us. Now, that, as I mentioned all in here, with Tellinger, with Jack Fresco, with the Venus Project, with money, with the Ecclesiastical, with the Canon, with the Trust, with the Corporation, with the Natural. See what you think. Put your comments on. I might get to them in a bit. You know where to find us. Peace, love and light. Got to get ready for servitude. Thank you very much. Namaste.